So good morning, students. So in the previous class, we have discussed some of the concepts regarding to the unit one, that is introduction and sampling process. The title of the unit is introduction and signal process. So in the previous class, we have seen what is meant by discrete control system and analog control system. That is nothing but analog controller and digital controller. And we have seen the block diagram regarding to the digital control system, which is developed with a digital controller. How the analog signal is going to be converted into digital, and again the digital signal is going to be converted to analog signal for the processing of the plant. So for today's class, and after that we have seen the major important question is advantages of the digital systems. Advantages of digital systems. Okay. We have seen six different advantages of the digital systems in the previous class. So for this today's class, we will see a topic about sampling process. Sampling process. Okay. Before entering into this one, sampling is nothing but a conversion process. Sampling is nothing but called as a conversion process. Conversion of what? Conversion of continuous based analog signal into discrete signal. That means analog signal is going to be converted into discrete or digital signal. That means the continuous based signal is going to be divided into different sets of portion, and it is going to be converted into as a discrete signal or digital signal. Okay. This is the main principle behind the sampling. Okay. Here is the basic definition. Sampling is the conversion of continuous time signal into discrete time signal. It is nothing but a conversion process of converting the continuous time signal, that is analog signal, into discrete time signal. How? By taking the samples of continuous time signal at discrete time intervals. That means that means the continuous time signal is going to be taken into different sets of samples at different time instants. Okay? Sampling is nothing but a process of converting continuous time signal into discrete time signal by taking the samples of the continuous time signal, that is analog signal, at discrete time instances. At discrete time instances. So in this one, let me show the diagram for this one. So so here is the diagram for representing the sampling process. Sampling process. So this particular block is called as a sampler. This particular block, this particular block is called as a sampler, and this particular processing is called as sampling process. This particular block is called as sampler. Okay. Now, if f of t is called as the analog signal. If f of t is given as an input to the sampler, that means analog signal is given as an input to the sampler, we are going to get a discrete time signal. And that discrete time signal is going to be represented as f of k into 2. Okay, sampling process is nothing but the conversion of analog into discrete signal. That means continuous into discrete time instances. If f of t is supposed to be a analog signal or continuous time signal, it is going to be converted into the discrete time signal as f of k into t. F of kt is nothing but the discrete time signal where this particular capital T, this particular capital T is called as sampling interval or sampling period. Sampling interval or sampling period. Okay. Analog is going to be converted into the discrete where f of t is going to be converted into f of k into t, where capital T is nothing but called as a sampling interval or sampling period. Sampling period. That means capital T is nothing but called as a time period. Sampling time period. Sampling time period. Okay. Now, now the reciprocal. Now, the reciprocal of the time period is nothing but called as a frequency. The reciprocal of the time period. What is the time period here? Time period is nothing but capital T. Therefore, capital T, time period capital T, reciprocal of the time period is nothing but called as the frequency. Therefore, 1 by capital T is equal to Fs, where Fs is nothing but F is nothing but the frequency. Fs is nothing but called as a sampling rate. Sampling rate. Okay, and this particular type of sampling is called as a periodic sampling. Periodic sampling means this is the continuous time signal. This is the continuous time signal which is given as an input to the sampler. That means f of t is given as an input to the sampler. We are going to get f of k into t. That means analog, that means continuous based time signal is going to be divided into different sets of samples. Different sets of samples, and it is going to be converted as a discrete time. It is going to be converted into a discrete time signal. Okay. Continuous analog signal is going to be divided into different sets of samples. Different sets of samples. Okay, this type of dividing, that means at different equal intervals, if this portion of if the continuous time signal is divided into equal sets of portions, then that type of sampling is called as periodic sampling. If the continuous time signal is divided into different samples at at equal intervals of time, then that particular process of sampling is called as periodic sampling. Periodic sampling. Once again, sampling is nothing but a process of conversion of continuous analog signal into discrete time signal. How? By taking the samples of continuous time signals at discrete time instances. Okay. If this analog signal is divided into equal set of intervals, then the type of processing or sampling processing is called as periodic sampling. Periodic sampling. Okay. Now, now we are having we are having three different sets of sampling types. There are three different types of sampling. Three different types of samplings. One is multiple order sampling. Sampling is basically divided into three particular categories. Three particular categories. The first one is multiple order sampling. Multiple order sampling. In this one, that means the multiple order sampling. How it is going to be categorized means the sampling pattern is repeated periodically. That means previously I have seen, previously I have shown that the continuous time signal is divided into equal intervals. Equal intervals. If that particular process is repeated periodically, then that process of sampling is called as multiple order sampling. Simply, multiple order sampling and periodic sampling are equal. Multiple order sampling and periodic sampling are equal. There is no difference. Why? Because the continuous time signal is divided into equal intervals of time. Equal intervals of time as periodically. Okay? This is the first type of sampling, and the second type of sampling is multiple rate sampling. Multiple rate sampling. So in this one, that means in this particular sampling method, two different simultaneous sampling operations with different time periods are carried out. That means during the conversion process of analog signal into the discrete signal, two different time periods are going to be taken. Two different time periods are going to be taken, and those two time periods are not equal. That means if one time period is going to be taken as instance of 2 seconds, there is an another signal and another portion of dividing is also going to be carried out. That portion may be 3 seconds or 4 seconds. Okay, that means the first instance is going to be taken as 2 seconds, and the second instance is going to be taken as 4 seconds. If this particular two simultaneous sampling operations is going to be carried out, then that particular sampling process is called as multiple rate sampling. Multiple rate sampling. This is the second category of the sampling process. That is second type of sampling process. And the third one is random sampling. Random sampling. In the name itself, we are going to observe a random. That means the continuous time signal is divided into unequal time signals. The continuous time signal is going to be divided into a discrete time signals with a random time intervals. With a random time intervals. Okay, these are the three different types of the sampling process. First one is multiple order sampling. Second one is multiple rate sampling, and the third one is random sampling. These are the three different types of sampling process. And sampling is nothing but purely the conversion of continuous time signal into discrete time signal. It means f of t is assumed to be an analog signal. It is going to be converted into f of kt, where f of kt is nothing but a discrete time signal. In that f of kt, capital T is nothing but called as the sampling period. Sampling period. Okay, simple. Okay, this is about the sampling process. Sampling process. Now next topic is regarding to the sample and hold circuit. Sample and hold circuit. Okay. This unit one is a small unit. We can complete this unit one in 5 different classes. Unit one is a small unit. This particular unit is a little bit confusing. Unit 1 is little bit confusing and somewhat different, somewhat different with compared with remaining 5 units. So try to concentrate on this one. This particular unit is a small unit. It can be completed with 5 different classes. And this unit is somewhat different when compared with the remaining 5 units. Okay? So try to concentrate on this one. And now we are going to move for the next topic of this class is sample and hold circuit. Sample and hold circuit. Okay, that means sampling process and also the holding process. Sampling process and also the holding process is going to be carried out instantaneously. Instantaneously. That means it is going to be carried out at particular device itself. At particular device itself. That means sampling process is nothing but conversion. Holding process means the conversion process is going to be maintained for a certain period. That means sample and hold. Sample and hold means sampling is nothing but conversion process. And holding operation is to stop that particular sampling process for a certain period. To stop that particular sampling period for a certain, it is called as nothing but holding function. Okay. Now let us see a sampler. A sampler is nothing but a device which converts the analog time signal into a train of amplitude modulated pulses. That means it is going to be divided into discrete time intervals. And a whole device, as I have previously explained, a whole device is simply maintains the value of pulse for a prescribed time zone. Sample and hold circuit is nothing but a sampler is a device which is going to be convert the analog time signal into a discrete time signal. That is called as a train of amplitude modulated pulses. Train of amplitude based modulated pulses. And a whole device simply maintains this particular value. That means this particular sampling process for a prescribed time period. It is going to stop, it is going to hold this particular sampling process for a prescribed time duration. Prescribed time duration. This is the basic difference between a sampler and hold circuit. In this one, that means in practical cases, for practical digital operations, sample and hold functions are performed by a single device itself. Two different devices are not going to be maintained for sampler and hold. A single device is going to be performed both sampling operation as well as holding operation, where in practical digital operations. And simply that particular circuit is called as sample and hold circuit. In general, sampling is nothing but a separate device and holding is nothing but a separate device. But for practical digital operations, sample and hold functions, both sampling and holding operations is going to be performed in a single device, and that device is called as a sample and hold circuit. Sample and hold circuit. Okay, that means the sample and hold circuit operates mainly operates by storing the input signal voltage as a charge. That means let me show the circuit for this one here. This is the circuit which is going to be representing the sample and hold circuit. Sample and hold circuit means this sample and hold circuit basically consisting of a capacitor. The sample and hold circuit basically consisting of a capacitor and an electronic switch. Electronic switch. Okay. Sample and hold circuit is nothing but a combination of a electronic switch along with a capacitor. Mainly, mainly the sampling process is nothing but in case of the sample and hold circuit, the sample and hold circuit operates by storing the input voltage. Let us suppose the input voltage is Vi. The sample and hold circuit stores that particular Vi, that is input voltage, as a charge with the help of a high quality capacitor. Capacitor mainly stores the charge. Okay, stores the charge. Therefore, the sample and hold circuit operates by storing the input voltage as a charge using a high quality capacitor. That means that means this particular sample and hold circuit mainly consisting of a electronic switch and a capacitor. That means the time that me uh, let me give the difference between this sampling time and holding time. The time during which the sample and hold circuit generates the sample of the input signal. Now, let me explain the difference. Whenever the electronic switch is closed, whenever the electronic switch is closed, the input voltage is going to be taken up, and this input voltage Vi is going to be stored as a charge in capacitor. And after the whole circuit is going to be initiated, the electronic switch is going to be get open. It is going to be gets open, and it is gets open, and it is going to be open for a particular time interval. That particular time interval is called as a holding period. Okay. Whenever the electronic switch is closed, the total input voltage Vi is going to be appeared as a charge in the high quality capacitor. And whenever the electronic switch is going to be open, this particular charge is going to be maintained for a particular time interval. For a particular time interval. Okay, this is the basic operation of the sampling and holding. Sampling and holding. That means whenever the switch is closed, the sampling operation is going to be happen, and whenever the electronic switch is opened, the holding operation is going to be maintained. Okay, this is the basic circuit which is going to be representing the sample and hold circuit, which is basically consisting of the electronic switch and a capacitor. Here, here we are able to know about two different times. One is sampling time, sampling time and holding time. Sampling time and holding time. That means sampling time is nothing but the time which is required to generate the samples of the input signal. That means analog signal is going to be given as an input. That analog signal is going to be converted into discrete time instance. That particular conversion process time is called as the sampling time. That means continuous time signal is going to be converted into discrete time instances. That particular time period required for conversion of this particular process is called as sampling time. And similarly, the time duration of the circuit, the time duration of the circuit which holds this particular sampled value, which holds this particular sampled value is called as the holding time. Okay, the process of conversion of continuous to the analog signal, that particular time period is called as the sampling time, and and holding the that is taking that particular sample value, that means holding this particular conversion time. Holding this particular conversion time is called as the holding time. That means whenever the electronic switch is opened, the holding operation is going to be carried out. Okay, the time taken for the electronic switch to be maintained in open condition is simply called as the hold time. That means the total charge is going to be holded in the capacitor itself. That particular time period is called as the holding time. And this sampling time, that means conversion of the analog to the discrete signal, is generally between 1 microseconds to the 14 microseconds. Why? Why? That means whereas the holding time can be assumed as a value depending upon the application. Depending upon the application, practical application. Sampling time is basically between 1 microseconds to the 14 microseconds. And the holding time is assumed by the user depending upon the practical application. Practical application. And and this particular sample and hold circuit consisting of an electronic switch along with a capacitor. Here, this capacitor is a heart of the sample and hold circuit. This capacitor is basically called as a heart of the sample and hold circuit. This is because this capacitor stores the input voltage as a charge to its peak value. That means whenever the holding operation is going to be maintained, the charge is going to be stored in the capacitor to its maximum value. So that means the entire input voltage is going to be stored in the capacitor. Therefore, this particular capacitor is called as a heart of the sample and hold circuit. And during the sampling process, the switch is basically closed. But whenever the electronic switch is in the open position, the charge is going to be maintained in the capacitor to the maximum instant of the capacitor. Okay. Now, this particular sample and hold circuit basically consisting of the two basic components. One is the analog switch, simply called as the electronic switch, and second one is a holding capacitor. Electronic switch or analog switch, and a capacitor simply called as a holding capacitor. Holding capacitor. That means here the sampling and holding operation is going to be initiated with a simple command. The sampling operation and holding operation is initiated to the sample and hold circuit with a simple command. That means whenever the command is going to be initiated as a sampling, the switch is automatically closed and the total input voltage is going to be taken as a charge to the capacitor. And whenever the hold operation is initiated by the user or the application, this entire charge is going to be maintained in the capacitor to the maximum. So this particular sample and hold circuit is a basic device used for conversion of analog signal into the digital form. Digital signal. That means the sample and hold circuit is a basic device which is used for the analog to digital conversion. Analog to the digital conversion. Sample and hold circuit is basically a basic and important device which is used for the conversion of analog to the digital. Okay, this is about the sample and hold circuit. Now we will see the applications of the sample and hold circuits. Basically, the sample and hold circuits are used in data distribution systems, sampling oscilloscopes, data conversion systems, digital voltmeters, analog signal processing, and signal constructional filters. These are the basic applications of the sample and hold circuits. That means where the sample and hold circuits are going to be fabricated. These sample and hold circuits are fabricated in the devices of data distribution system, sampling oscilloscopes, data conversion systems, digital voltmeters, analog signal processing, and signal constructional filters. In this particular different devices, the sample and hold circuit is going to be fabricated. Okay, this is about the second topic of our today's class, that is sample and hold circuit and sampling process. We have seen two different topics. One is the sampling process, and the second one is sample and hold circuit. Sample and hold circuit along with the basic operation and applications of the sample and hold circuit. Okay. Now we are going for the next topic of this class is ideal sampler. Ideal sampler. Ideal sampler means sampler is nothing but a process or a device which converts the continuous signal into the discrete time signal. Okay, so based upon the sampler, we are going to know about the ideal sampler. Ideal sampler. So, in case of an ideal sampler, the carrier signal is replaced by a train of unit impulses. That means, in case of this particular ideal sampler, the continuous time signal is divided into equal time intervals, and the magnitude of that particular time intervals is maintained as a unit impulse function. The continuous time signal is going to be divided into equal set of intervals, and the magnitude of that particular unit, sorry, magnitude of this particular instant is going to be maintained as a unit impulse function. Unit impulse function. That means, let me show this particular diagram. So here, f of t is nothing but f of t is nothing but a input analog signal, and delta t is a pulse function. So whenever the analog signal is going to be multiplied, analog signal is going to be multiplied with the unit impulse function, we are going to obtain the function as f star of f star of t. That means this particular analog signal is going to be divided into equal set of intervals, and the magnitude and the maximum magnitude is going to be maintained as a unit impulse function. That means, in case of the ideal sampler, the analog signal is going to be gets multiplied with impulse function. Impulse function. That means, in case of the ideal sampler, f of t is going to be multiplied with delta t of t, and that particular resultant is called as f star of t. F star of t. Here we are able to see that in this particular first figure, the input analog signal f of t is going to be multiplied with delta t of t. Therefore, that particular resultant is called as f star of t. That means f of t is going to be divided into equal set of intervals, and the magnitude is going to be maintained as a unit impulse impulse function. Okay, the same thing is has been written where delta of t represents here. Delta of t represents the unit impulse function. Thus, the finite pulse width sampler can be viewed as a impulse modulator or an ideal sampler. Okay, delta of t is nothing but called as a unit impulse function, and this particular process can be viewed as a ideal sampler connected in series with a attenuator. This particular process can be viewed as a ideal sampler connected in series with a attenuator. Okay, that is, in ideal sampling process, f of t is going to be multiplied with delta t of t. F of t is a continuous signal, and delta t of t is a impulse function. So the same thing has been represented here. The same thing has been represented. So f star of t, f star of t is nothing but the product of product of the analog signal along with the impulse function. F of kt into delta t minus kt. That means this particular entire process is a converted digital signal. It is not an analog signal. F star of t is nothing but f of t into delta t of t. F star of t is nothing but called as f of t into delta t of t. F of t into delta t of t is nothing but an analog signal. What is the digital signal? If f of t is given as a sampler, what is going to be get f of kt, and delta t of t, it is going to be gets as delta t minus kt. Delta t minus kt. This is the obtained discrete time signal after sampling process. So whenever the Laplace transform is applied for this one, Laplace transform is applied for this f star of t, we are going to get simply f star of s is equal to sigma. The time interval stands from 0 to infinity, f of kt into e power minus k dx. Whenever the Laplace transform is applied for this particular f star of t, we are going to get the simply f star of s is equal to sigma k. K is nothing but the time interval stands from 0 to infinity, f of kt into e power minus k into Ts. That means whenever the Laplace transform is applied for the delta impulse function, the resultant value is e power minus time t beta. That means e power minus kt into s. Kt into s. Okay. This is the output of the ideal sampler. Output of the ideal sampler. Right? Output of the ideal sampler is f star of s. F star of s. That means that means this particular sampling process is basically approximated by an ideal sampler or impulse modulator. That means the output of the whole device will be the same, will be the same with respect to an ideal sampler or impulse modulator. Ideal sampler or impulse modulator. Okay, this is about the ideal sampler. Ideal sampler is nothing but the product of f of t into delta t of t. Therefore, the output resulting the ideal sampler is f star of s. F star of s. F star of s is nothing but Laplace transform obtained after for f star of t. Okay, this is the output of an ideal sampler where given as f star of s is equal to sigma k tends to 0 to infinity f of kt into e power minus kt. Okay. Basically, this particular sampling process is approximated. Basically, the sampling process is approximated by an ideal sampler, or it is also called as an impulse modulator. The sampling process is approximated by an ideal sampler, or simply called as impulse modulator. Okay. For present class, we have seen three different topics. First one is sampling process. Second one is sample and hold circuit along with the applications. And the third topic is ideal sampling. Ideal sampling. So, in this particular three topics, the sample and hold circuit along with the applications and the ideal sampler are important questions. Ideal sampler and sample and hold circuit are the two important questions regarding unit 1. In the previous class, I have said that the important questions in the previous class is advantages of digital systems or digital control systems. The second one is in this today's class, two different important questions we have seen. The first one is sample and hold circuit along with the applications, and the second one is ideal sample. Okay, these are the two different important questions for this today's class. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a nice day.